Je m'engage solennellement.
I solemnly pledge on my honor to do my utmost to achieve national unity. I swear it.
De l'unité nationale.
This is the man who led a coup in the Central African country of Gabon. He is General Brice Oligui Nguema. He was supposed to protect Gabon's president Ali Bongo. Instead, he detained Bongo after overthrowing him from power last week, and he took oath as the interim president on Monday. He also declared his forces as Gabon's knight in shining armor.
C'est sans aucune violence, sans heurts.
Like a meteoroid in the dark of night, our country's defense and security forces assumed their responsibilities by refusing the electoral coup that had just been declared by the Gabonese Election Center following an outrageously biased electoral process. It was without violence, without clashes, and without bloodshed that the Committee for the Transition and Restoration of Institutions, abbreviated CTRI, changed the regime that had been confusing the power of the Republic's institutions for several years in flagrant disregard of democratic rules.
Or, ces mécanismes de représentation.
Dear compatriots, the Constitution is the founding text of a state. It enshrines its institutions and specific procedures. However, these mechanisms of representation were no longer capable of ensuring our security. It is therefore important that Gabonese people from all walks of life agree to adopt a new constitution.
À l'issue de cette transition, avec l'apport de tous
We
les
therefore need a profound change, the result of our joint reflection. This is why I am already instructing our future governments to reflect without delay on the mechanisms to be put in place in order to facilitate the return to the country of all political exiles.
sociales.
Nguema doesn't want to hold on to power. At least that's what he says. The 48-year-old military general says that Gabon will return to civilian rule. But there's no time frame to when that will happen.
En refusant
At the end of this transition, with the support of all Gabonese development partners, we intend to return power to civilians by organizing new, free, transparent, and credible elections in a climate of social peace.
Now, the question arises, who is Nguema? And why did he lead the military takeover? Hear it from the horse's mouth, the men who led the coup.
Ce jour, 30 août 2023,
On this day, August 30, 2023, we, the Defense and Security Forces, meeting within the Committee for the Transition and Restoration of Institutions, CTRI, on behalf of the Gabonese people and guarantor of the protection of institutions, have decided to defend peace by putting an end to the current regime. The general elections of August 26, 2023, as well as the truncated results, are cancelled. The borders are closed until further notice. All institutions of the Republic are dissolved.
Nguema and his men call themselves the Committee of Transition and the Restoration of Institutions. They believe that the August 26th elections were not credible, and Bongo's victory in those polls was fractured. They claimed that his third term in office breached the constitution. That is why Nguema and his men toppled Gabon's 55-year-old ruling dynasty and detained the scion of a family that had ruled the oil-rich Gabon since 1967. Nguema believes that he saved the Central African nation from bloodshed that would have followed the elections. Nguema's claim to power has made him one of the most influential and enigmatic figures in Gabon today. His association with the military goes back to his childhood. Nguema is an army officer's son. He joined the military following his father's footsteps. When he first joined the military, Nguema served Ali's father, Omar Bongo. He was senior Bongo's Republican Guard until the president's death in 2009. Nguema was then sent to Morocco and Senegal on diplomatic missions. A decade later, in October 2019, he took over as the head of Gabon's elite Republican Guard for President Ali Bongo. The Republican Guard is meant to protect the president and other high-profile figures. Shortly after taking over the new role, Nguema launched an anti-corruption operation called Clean Hands. The 48-year-old led a crackdown on alleged state-led embezzlement. Continuing the anti-corruption bid after the coup, Nguema led raids at homes of the deposed president's son Noureddin Bongo Valentin, among other arrested officials. The state media showed suitcases filled with cash allegedly seized from their homes. Nguema is from Gabon's southeastern province and is believed to be a millionaire in Gabonese circles. In 2020, a global network of investigative journalists accused Nguema of purchasing property in the US. The Gabonese military leader has fetched criticism from all sides for his coup. Central African Regional Bloc, or ECAS, has urged its partners, including the UN and the African Union, to support the rapid return of constitutional order in Gabon. Gabon has now joined other African nations of Mali, Guinea, Sudan, Burkina Faso, and Niger to have undergone coups in the last 3 years.